And this is his track right here. Yeah.
You know, I've been hearing about these North Carolina black bears. These are gigantic fall bears, 600+ pound bears that they're taking in North Carolina. If you just think of this coastal plain country of North Carolina, I think of as ground zero for the best waterfowling in the Southeast. Turns out it's really probably the best black bear hunting in North America.
They filter through here, they filter through there, and all the food sites are up there. Right.
It's been unbelievable how they've been able to have the numbers that they do, and they do the hunting they do. The place we were at, Dare to Hide, they said some years they've taken as many as 60 or 70 bears. But that's within a 2-week season. So that's a lot of bears, and there's plenty of bears to go around, let me tell you.
Our bears generally are larger than anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world that you go, and that's our main focus. You take people out here in the daytime, like in the afternoon, they're like, there's no bears here. There's see, a couple of trails here and there. But trust me, from someone who's been out here at nighttime, it'd blow your mind how many bears are out here.
North Carolina is a sportsman's playground with spectacular fishing, waterfowling, and whitetail opportunities throughout. But the Tar Heel State's biggest draw for outdoorsmen is black bear. And these aren't just any black bear, but enormous beasts routinely tipping the scales at over 500 pounds. Black bears don't hibernate in North Carolina, and they gorge themselves on high-calorie corn, peanuts, and other crops, which is how they grow so huge. And these massive four-legged overeaters are a serious problem for the local farmers.
On some of our farms, we have documentation of crop damage of over $75,000 a year in it. And so by hunting the bear, it's an alternative use. Plus it allows us or any other outfitter to pay the farmer something for his losses. And thus he's happy and the resource is happy.
So it's really important. Hunters come down to one of the poorest counties in the state, if not the country, and they infuse cash into rural North Carolina. And so it's really a win-win. You control these damaging, overpopulated black bears, support the local economy, and have a great time. There are several different ways to hunt black bear here. Tree stands are popular in thick woods, spot and stalk, hounds for good old-fashioned chases, or drives, a method that whitetail hunters in the Northeast and the Midwest know all too well. It's quite an operation. So we're surrounding a giant bear refuge with guns. That's the idea. We're gonna flush these monster bears out of the swamp. And you better be ready to shoot fast. That's right. Mr. Gardner, you ready? You got your brush gun?
He said though the big fat ones can't run very fast. That's the good news.
It's gonna be a rodeo. David Gardner's an old friend of mine, and he's got a house at Brays Island Plantation in South Carolina where I do as well, and he's a keen hunter and just a lot of fun to travel with, and he's hunted all over the world, Africa, North America, etc. So anyway, it was a great time to get up there and share the trip with somebody who is a kindred soul.
We got a little while for shooting time, but it's not really a stealthy thing. We want to keep them in there. They're in the woods.
It's not a stealthy thing. I like that. This is going to be kind of a whole new way to hunt bears. Be an interesting experience here. But that shot's inside of 100 yards, but it's a narrow window, so you're going to have to be on that bear, even if it's not running through and just walking through. It's a tricky shot. It's still a dangerous game animal, so you want to make a good first shot. We did a series called Dangerous Game for about 10 years. And we always interviewed somebody who was a tax survivor from the species being hunted in that show. And it always started with, I made a bad first shot. Just saying, David.
You can get into some hairy situations. Every year you'll hear about 2 or 3 encounters where folks just got a little too close to the bears, but we're not going to put ourselves in a position to have such an instance.
See there? That's small bear. Small bear.
Small bear. So I'll look at him.
Yeah, just a baby. Yeah, my guess is that she's gonna have a
Mama?
There's gonna be a mama somewhere. That's a little tiny thing.
first real hunt was the next morning. It was a little bit warm, so the bears probably weren't moving like normal. Once we went on the first hunt, the first day, they immediately started talking about using the dogs for the hunt, and we got to see that in action.
When you think about bear hunting across North America, you see these mountain vistas, things like that, and it's beautiful. But here, it's a veritable hell on earth. In a lot of places, vegetation is so thick you can't see 5 or 6 feet in front of you. From thick reeds to catclaw briars or green briars, man, it's really tough.
To make an ethical kill on the animal, we got to get really close, and we don't want to hit the dog. So
you can't see the bear until you actually have to pull the shrubbery back, and that's where they take the bear.
good job. That's the way to do it, boy. That was insane. That was awesome.
You know, when you come out, you've got a lot of great souvenirs on your hands and on your face, and you really feel like you earned your trophy.
That's a good bear right there, buddy. You can't turn that one down.
Yeah.
Had a lot of people do it, and people that said they didn't want to do it, and now that's all they want to do. So it's a very coveted way of harvesting a bear.
You've been hearing about these North Carolina black bears, these huge coastal black bears that are fed corn and soybeans. They're just a food-rich environment. They don't have to hibernate because it never really gets cold enough. So they just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Imagine a Labrador retriever that could have all the food it ever wanted. That's kind of what these black bears are.
Virtually, they're basically eating year-round. And a bear in this area can gain up to 3 pounds per day. And so you may have a bear in the early season that may be 500 pounds, and potentially by the second season, end of the second season, he could have gained another 90 pounds.
They're getting up 6, 7, pushing 800 pounds. So it's not even uncommon, frankly, at this point, to get a 500-pound black bear down here. These are just super stuffed, gigantic, belly-dragging monsters that if you want a bear like that, this is the place to come.
The second day we got out, second morning, and it was so foggy that we couldn't see out into the fields to see if there were any bears out there.
Okay, look. Okay, it's little bear, small bear, small bear. Oh, look at it. Wasn't that small? Pretty good, look.
But we didn't see many bears either that day.
We don't have much wind. Oh, what do we have? It's a bear big going right here.
As we were standing again looking up and down the path for bears, it wasn't long and
Right here, right here, right here.
he started yelling down at us, you know, get over here because there's one coming out.
I offered to let David try out my reliable Winchester Model 70 and 300 Win Mag with Winchester Expedition big game loads, but he insisted on, well, shooting his own rifle and his own ammo. And sure enough, a really nice bear had come out.
Oh, big bear.
And as soon as he gets into the clearing, this bear cuts across left to right.
Quickly set up for a shot, and I got my gun up and clicked, misfire. So we were like, I looked over at whoever was beside me and we were like, uh-oh. I rifled in another round, but by that time the bear had taken off running towards the reed patch and everybody's yelling, quick before he gets in the reeds.
Good job. That'll do it. Way to go, Gardner. This bear's at 150 plus yards, running left to right, and he just pops it right through the shoulders. High shoulder shot, drops right there. Nice shot, man. That was a great shot. In a 550-pound black bear. It was just extraordinary how fast it happened, and he made the most of his opportunity with one hell of a shot. Woo! Yeah, the little high shoulder shot works every time.
Congratulations.
Beauty.
Way to go, man.
Butterball.
He was not quite as long as Chris's bear. Chris's bear was a little longer, but mine was a very heavy bear.
Great shot, dude, man. That's a perfect shot. Right there, just anchored him right there.
Yes, sir. I told you we had to judge.
Awesome. Wow. That was such a
It
cool
was down
shot.
like a sack of potatoes.
You just anchored him right there. And bears don't anchor easily, man.
Oh.
Well, it tapped the primer, but it didn't tap it hard.
That was weird.
You can upgrade to a Winchester anytime.
I will use my Winchester next time, I promise. And as we rolled it over, we saw a beautiful chevron that the bear had, a nice white chevron right on its chest. But it was a beautiful bear, great big head, great big jowls, and these bears are just huge. They put on the weight, and the size is unbelievable.
So Dave's was 548. 543. 543.
They were nice job, guys. 4 pounds difference. 543 pounds and 547 pounds. That's generally how we judge our bears here, is by weight. They don't look like black bears from anywhere else in the world. These coastal North Carolina bruins are really giants.
What a wonderful zone. Of all the places, first time I've hunted North Carolina, and the monster bears, just the abundance of monster bears, the waterfowl, swan hunting, woodcock. I mean, it's a sportsman's paradise, to say nothing of the fishing. So it really is kind of a gem that a lot of people have never experienced, and frankly, in the sporting world, not a lot have even heard about all these great things down there.